Hello, YouTube world. My name is Anthony Long. Welcome back to the Bluegrass Picker channel. Someone came back, Cora. It's been a while since I played this one. Let's try it again. She never mentions the word addiction in certain company. How's it going, y'all? Thought I'd jam a little bit. I was going to go out for garage sales here in a little while, so I thought I'd jump on. How's everybody doing this morning? Hey, Tanya. Thanks, Eric, for joining for a minute. I love this song. Hey, what's up, Tommy? Alright, sorry, switching out guitars. That's a weird tuning guitar. Gonna do some fishing today, Tommy? Do many times. That song, I just Zeppelin. Ugh. I appreciate that. Yeah, there's no better time to start than right now. I'm gonna have a YouTube channel where I show people how to play guitar, that's my next venture, but I got so much going on I can't really do that right now. But it's fun because I've learned so much from YouTube. Now I can do better than the other guys that play guitar and show people how to play. Because a lot of people they don't really know what they're doing. They know how to play guitar. They don't know how to really transfer it over. And I don't know. I'm looking forward to that. And plus I do the mandolin. Yeah, at the beginning, no one get their fingers to work. That's how it goes. And you got to get your fingers, you got to get calluses on them. And then once you get calluses, then you don't feel it. It's just like running. It's easy to run when you lose weight. It hurts when you're heavy. So every time you run, it gets easier, which doesn't make sense. But same way the guitar. Every time you do it, it gets easier. But yeah, I love learning. I love learning. So it's just like there's a never ending learning curve on this. I was listening this morning, listening to different modes on the guitar, and there's always something new to learn, because it goes into all the major scales, the C major, and then the minor. Minor is what all the blues guys play. Stuff like that, kind of that minor has that little sad sound to it. It takes a little while to get going, that's for sure. Yeah, Guitar Hero. Yeah, I don't even like playing Guitar Hero because it messes up my real guitar, and it doesn't. It's made for that, so it's not. But it's still it gets your fingers moving and pressing, and that helps. It could be a great way to start, honestly, though. For guitar, when you first starting out, it's more about the strings than the guitar. You spend $100 and you'd be fine. Brand new one, 140, 150. That's plenty when you first start. A lot of times you can find them in garage sales because a lot of people get them and it hurts their fingers and they're like, shit, this isn't what I expected. It took me a long time to play Led Zeppelin. I didn't just start with it, obviously. This one I've been working on. This is one of my favorite Led Zeppelin songs. If the sun refused to shine, I would still be loving you. If mountains crumble to the sea, there would still be you and me. Ah, Zeppelin. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. I love thank you. My parents had Led Zeppelin 4 when I was a kid. I didn't realize how lucky I was, but I didn't realize there was Led Zeppelin 1, 2, and 3, and they were all better. And Led Zeppelin 2, my favorite, I think. Yeah, but at the very, very beginning, it's not about how the guitars all sound similar at the beginning, and then you get to where you can kind of Cats in the Cradle. Yeah, that's kind of an easy one. So I just have to look up the sheet music and I can. It's a great song. That's my dad's favorite song. That's a song that's driven by his voice and his lyrics, and the guitar just fills in. You know what I mean? So it's not a guitar driven song. I always learn the guitar driven songs. And that's what you realize. I'm like, oh, I like all the songs that were written by the guitar first, and then they fill in the music. And that's why Jimmy Page, Dave Matthews, Pink Floyd, a lot of that stuff. I understand that now. Thanks for joining, James. I appreciate it. Thank you. He's one of my favorites. And just his lyrics are mystical. And this, I mean, it goes along that they're a mystical sounding group. And that's why they were so groundbreaking back then. Everything was so poppy or bluesy. It was like you had to be one thing, and they were like everything. It was just mystical, and I can't imagine. I would have been crazy about Zeppelin back in the day. I would have followed them around back if they were touring back then. If I was alive, definitely them and Pink Floyd. Oh, cool. Oh, that don't care about that. My first love was baseball. Honestly, I always wanted to have kids so I could play baseball with them. Is that sad or what? Uh, but my dream was having my weekends taken because I was taking my kids to baseball. Because when I was a kid, I lived out in the country. I was really good at baseball, but you know, you had to drive 15 minutes just to go to my own baseball practice. And then asking my parents to drive me all over the nation was almost impossible. So I appreciate dads like you that do that for them, because it's not about where baseball goes after that, but being in a team effort with friends and things. This is going to be huge for those kids forever. It's way more about that, and to compete. We've got to compete with ourselves, and that's the first competition. But yeah, that's cool though. I understand not being able to do garage sales. We have Thursday, Friday garage sales around here, so I usually try to hit those first because Saturday wipes everything out. But there's some sales that only go Saturday, Sunday here. So Rush, yeah, and there's bands like Rush. You just go, I'm not. I can never make it sound like that. So I'm not. It's like disrespectful, slapping the bass. I used to know some David Bowie. Out control to me. Control to me. Primus, yeah. My friend did that for his son, and now his son is in the minor league. That's cool. That's cool. I mean, because when I hear that, everybody always hears, "Oh, he's probably talented. He's probably a big kid." I hear work. He did a lot of work. Because when I was a kid, I didn't know who I was. When I was a kid, I was just doing what I liked, so I didn't really think about it. I look back on it now, I'm like, man, I was crazy. So I grew up when I was in my prime. So I was born in '76. So I really started at about 85. So about when I was 9 to 10 years old, I just started going crazy with baseball because I played baseball in, T-ball and stuff. But people would tell you, you're good, you're good. So you just like, if I'm good, I'm just going to accentuate it. I don't know. I would play for hours, just hours and hours and hours. I got good just because I practiced. No one else practiced. I remember I used to run sprints when I was like 10 or 11 years old, and I got a stopwatch. I was so proud of this timer I got on my watch, because back then in 84 or 5, I had to send in those UPC code things, and you could, if you save like 20 of them, you could send in and get the free stopwatch, and had a calculator on it. And I thought that was so cool. I got it, and it lasted for like 2 weeks because of the battery. But I would time myself. I would sprint and run and time it, and I could see myself getting better. And when you start seeing yourself get better, you're like, well, it's worth it. I didn't do it just because I loved it. It was actually worth doing. But anyway, yeah, I loved baseball. I remember people would live on a little gravel, or not a gravel road, but a country road, and people would drive by, and they'd always see me at church and go, "Man, we know you're going to make the major leagues because we see you practice so much." And it really did help when people would do that. It'd make you keep going out there. And back then too, I had 85, 86. I had a bike, and I couldn't leave because that road that I lived on was so dangerous. People were driving 65, 70 down it, and it was so hilly. It was crazy. People wrecked all the time. And so I had to stay in the gravel in our part, and there was a church there, so I could just ride in a circle around the church over and over again. And I bought one of those odometers when I was a kid, and on my bike, and it hit 1,000. You have to get another one. I ran through a couple of them at least, and so I was every day I'd try to get like 20 miles in or something. I don't even remember now, but I would just ride all day until it was like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and then it gets so hot you just can't be out anymore. Middle of summer, at least. Class of 85 here. Yeah, right on. I'm class of 95. We're vintage. Official. Hey, Tim. Thanks for joining, brother. I skipped the yards this week. They're pretty dry. It's the driest it's been all year here in Missouri, so the yards are dead unless you're watering it. A couple scraggly hairs here and there, but that's about it. But it's nice that I could do I listed like 1,000 things the other day. $1,000 worth, sorry, $1,000 worth of things for my antique mall and vintage or flea market booth. And that's what's nice about the booths is I can just sit down and just pop, list a bunch of stuff, put the stickers on. I got never have it, my label maker. It's so fast, and so I can do so many. It's when you do eBay, you realize you can do so many listings for the antique mall and stuff without having to take pictures and all that stuff. I just have to go up and drop it all off. But you're doing everything in one thing instead of like only doing 5 at a time, 5 at a time, 5 at a time, like I do with eBay. I could do 30 or 40 at a time and then go on. So that's kind of nice about that. Yeah, I put up that new sidewalk. It's a mess down there, but it's gonna be nice for the community. I know one Stone song, and I just know the intro because when you play guitar, the intro is the fun part. That's what the guitarist gets to shine a little bit. And so the intro is the fun part, and then after that, they're just chords and stuff. It's not much fun. So I always do my own version too. I just love that beginning. It sounds so cool though. Keith Richards is crazy. That they had to record when he was drunk. He would come up with all these riffs, and he wouldn't come up with them any other time. Well, it's not near as much. And they would record him, and he would be like, "Oh, that sounds good. That was me. Yeah, let's go with it." And thank God they were recording a lot of stuff. It would have been lost in the ether. 81, 86. It reminds me, I did the most running, miles-wise, I've ever done this last week. So I don't feel very old. I feel better than I did in my 20s by far. I didn't take care of myself in my 20s. It was bad. Yeah, absolutely, Tanya. I mean, for a lot of artists, that's why you appreciate guys like Joe Perry, Brian May. They were great guitarists, but they weren't getting all wasted to do it. They were great guitarists, and they're pretty clean guys. Ted Nugent was kind of the same way. Unbelievable guitarist, and he didn't drink or smoke or anything. Although he womanized a lot. But so yeah, sometimes they say like Jimi Hendrix, you have to do a bunch of acid to hit that part. No, and then you got Stevie Ray Vaughan that was just a drunk. But imagine what they could have done without that. I think maybe it taps you into it at the beginning, but after that, it's not helping. I can't, I don't know. But then you got guys like Jim Morrison and some of these guys that, the reason Nirvana, the reason their songs were so impressive is because they lived so much different than everybody else. That's what they were so intense. Kurt Cobain's words were so true because he wanted to kill himself for a long time, I think, he was killing himself with heroin. So he pretty much was. And then it came out through his lyrics. But how many people did take care of themselves in their 20s? True. Not even married people. Married people got their 20s and were like, nothing to prove anymore. Yeah, true that. I drank a lot in my early 20s. Didn't drink in my later 20s, but I ate terrible. Didn't work out that much. I got up to about, 200 pounds, 205 or so, a couple times. And then I probably weigh 160 now with a lot more muscle back then than I did back then. So I wasn't made for 205. My legs were definitely squeezing together when I walked, almost down to my knee. I'm just short and squatty already. So my dad, he's 5'11". He puts on a little weight. You can barely tell. Me, it was pretty obvious. My buddy used to make fun of me when I was a kid, and he would call me Stumpy and tree trunk. Because back then too, I did squats a lot, and because I played football, and I just had to get my legs super strong, and that did. And my legs were massive. My butt was huge, and so my buddy called me tree trunk. Yeah, did we all? I had a lot of Jaeger bombs, flu shots back in my 20s because of it was popular then. And you know, that's one of those things you didn't realize how bad it was. You're just, I'm just drinking. Jaeger is just chock full of sugar, and so is Red Bull. Drinking 10 of those a night with beer. I don't know how I didn't weigh more, honestly. Yeah, most women say that. They didn't gain weight till kids. You know, and it makes you wonder too. And I'm a man. Don't be mad when I say this, but it makes you wonder. You know, you just take it on all this new stress. Your day's full with just worrying about the kids, so you can't really think about yourself. So you don't. And so I think that's what my mom did too, a little bit. You put everything into your kids, and you stop putting everything into yourself too, and you don't realize how much you are doing stuff for yourself. But I mean, stress is the worst. But I get a new dog, and that gives me stress. I can't imagine what kids would do. And then woman's body changes in her hormones, so it's almost impossible not to. I can't imagine being a parent. You know, getting this far along, and I'm not a parent, and I always wanted to be, but watching them now, and I barely have time for what I am, and keep my own ass clean. I just can't imagine trying to chase around 3 dirty boys, you know, like my sister does. Have bottled Jaeger in my prep box. Yeah. I used to drink quite a bit, but I don't know. It got to be where I didn't see what I was doing. I don't know. You know, it started off just hanging out with your friends and this and that, and then it would just have a glass of wine at night. And like, why am I drinking? I don't know. I liked whiskey, just sipping on a little whiskey, like one ice cube, just sipping on it. I like that. When I was drinking, I liked wine the most, like red wine. I still miss some red wine because the taste is so amazing. Because I was really good. I could tell what flavors were in stuff. And since once you can, and then you really appreciate the wine more, and then you want to try new wines. And but I guess I can spit it out. I don't want to be that guy that's, you know, it looked like a complete DB, but girls are clear. That's good point. I'll never forget that. When I was one of my first jobs was a lifeguard. God, best job ever. But that was one of my first lessons about men and women. Men's bathrooms were always clean. Women's bathroom? What the? I couldn't believe it. I didn't understand. And for a long time, I didn't understand the hovering thing. They didn't want to touch it. So then they just went everywhere. I'm like, and then I thought, it's just where I was from. And then you went to other places and it was the same thing. Every place you went, the women's bathroom was awful. It's like, girls are not clean only when they want you to see it. 18 out of high school. That's awesome. That's got to be a good feeling. Start your stuff again. I had 3 boys I can give her tips. My 3 nephews are pretty awesome, and they're all unique and smart in their own way. They're absolutely amazing. I'm lucky. No, sir. Super lucky. Benjamin's 12. Landon's 8, and Ethan is 6 now, 5 now, 6 now, 6 now, coming up on 6. No, just turned 6. Landon's getting ready to turn 9. They're just amazing. The 9-year-old gets up early, comes up. I'm doing push-ups, doing my YouTube like motivational or learning something, and he comes up. He starts reading instantly. Sits down, starts reading. Doesn't even hardly say hi to anybody. The kid is so smart. And then Benjamin, the 12-year-old, is smart in his own way. Really smart in his own way, but he'll be more like the engineer kind of guy, just like his dad. He reads too, but he's like into everything. He's a social guy too. But Landon is just like, oh, let's learn. And at 6 in the morning, I it baffles me. I had to teach myself. I had to train myself to do stuff like that. That's enjoyable to him. Those kids, sky's the limit. And then the youngest, Ethan, is just he's just personality. He's just all personality, and so he's going to be he's going to be something else too. And he's so young now he's smart too, but it'll be in his own way. It's going to be interesting to see. And Benjamin's really tall for his age, and he's a good baseball player. And I was good at baseball, but he's got more athletic ability than I do. But he doesn't really practice it like I did. But he probably go farther than I did. He hit a home run over center field in like his first season with this one team. That was pretty fun to watch. Nice, good extension. He's got long arms. He's gonna be taller than me by his freshman year in high school, probably. His dad's 6 foot, so he's gonna be tall. And she's probably 5'3", so she's kind of tall for girls in my in my family. My mom's 4'11", and she's the cutest thing ever. Seriously, my mom. We used to have that screened-in front porch. Well, no, we didn't have screened-in. We just had the front porch. And my mom, I don't know how many times mom would say, "No, you're taking your clothes off before you come in. You take them off." But mom, I'll be naked. Well, maybe you won't get all so nasty next time. That didn't work. That's funny. Yeah. Germany. I love Germany when I went there. It was funny because, I'm from North Missouri, and there's a lot of German and Austrian and Swiss that are up there. And I realized why when I went to Germany. It looks just like North Missouri almost. And people are so awesome, so nice there. That's funny. You must have that. Now you still like it because of that. It's early memories. You're probably having a good time, and that's interesting. That's cool. Thanks for that story. That's a cool little story. Hey, morning. Hemlock Lady. I forget your first name. Could you tell me your first name again? I'm sorry. Yeah, Ethan will be a YouTuber. That's for sure. He already is. He's got curly blonde hair, big blue eyes, and a great smile. I mean, the kid is just a knockout. All the boys are good looking. But he's just like, my sister had a miscarriage about 4 months before that. And so he's the rainbow baby. He's kind of special to everybody. I mean, they all are, but it's like God gave us that one. You know what I mean? Yeah, good luck, John, on the games today. I love Tool. Hey, Lone Star Picker. It's Louie, isn't it? If I'm wrong, tell me. I guess I should share this out to my friends in case someone wants to watch this. I should be going to garage sales right now, but I have 50 pieces of Dale Earnhardt Sr. stuff to list. I need to take a last video of it and then put it out. It's insane. I don't need to go to garage sales at all. But I'm still going to go around and check out stuff because having this community, people can go to garage sales for 3 days in the same place. I go up there and find steel still because they just don't know, and that's just because I put my time in and understand about how to part things out and that kind of stuff. Really, following Kevin Commonwealth Picker, that really helped me a lot. Realizing that I could pick up, a Cuisinart food processor, even though the top part's broken, for 50 cents because you can part out the rest of it and make $20. So just to know that, and you can get some good deals in a garage sale because they think they're kind of screwing you, and then they'll give you a better deal on something else when the whole time you're going to make money on it, and they're just trying to get rid of it anyway. But yeah, tools, they're underrated. I wouldn't say underrated of all time, but I mean, when you consider they're very much musically talented, just like Rush, and I guess they technically, yeah, you could say they're underrated because they should be upper echelon for sure. But there's a lot of people that know about them. But man, it's because they got some dark lyrics and dark sound to them. That's probably why. But man, musically wise, whew, those guys are amazing. Yeah, Louis. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, they're all music Juilliard guys. Like Rush was so good when I was a kid. I didn't like them because they were too blended. They were too musical. I was so used to hearing, when you hear a band and you hear every instrument, that's not a good thing. And that's what I was used to. And then when you hear Rush, it's so blended. And then they would peek out with instruments here and there. They were so tight. And so I didn't appreciate them until I got older. And Tool's kind of the same way. They're so tight um, that it's hard to appreciate them a lot of times. People don't understand anyway. But teach their own. They're kind of dark, but they play in that drop D weird, tuning. Right on. Thanks, Louie. Go out there and get some deals. He'll be a YouTuber. I hope so. Well, there'll probably be something different by then, but it'll probably be owned by Google. It's interesting. I've been doing this for just over a year now. It's amazing how much different our community is since when I first started. Um, a lot of the big name guys don't really put out videos anymore. When I first started watching, I started watching in June, like May or June of 2019, when I kind of found them, and it was like Reezy Resells, Rake and Profit, some of those guys, and they were putting out videos every day, and they were just talking about Amazon FBA. Now everybody should be doing it, and sign up, um, and they were putting out a bunch of videos, and they had a bunch of viewers. And I rarely see those guys put out any videos anymore. It's fascinating. You think they would just keep putting them out because they're making some money on it. But when you watch like that Rake and Profits or whatever, he had, I don't remember, he had 150,000 subscribers or something. But he would go live every once in a while, and he'd have 15, 20 people on his lives, and he'd be going for a long time. I'm like, he's got 150,000 subscribers and he's only got 15, 20 people in there. That's when I started realizing, I'm like, some of these guys probably have a lot of fake subscribers or something. And people that joined him a long time ago that don't even do YouTube anymore, don't even watch. And I saw a lot of people doing that, like that. The college, what's his name? He still puts some videos out, but he just tests printers and stuff now. He used to do videos all the time. The guy that does Bodam channel, he used to do videos all the time, and those guys put out like a video a month, and that's been for a while too. So it makes you wonder why, if it's not worth it to them anymore, they're doing something. I don't know. Maybe they're doing Twitch or something. It makes you wonder where YouTube's going, because it's changed so much in our community. I can't imagine what it's going to be like in a year. You think it'd be growing because of all the stuff's going on, people having to be at home and having to watch, but I don't think viewership's up. Mine's gone down. I don't know why. YouTube stopped suggesting my stuff as much. I know that, but I just want to provide info and then play songs just to chit chat for a minute. People like to hear some music. Well, let's say only a couple people in here, so I appreciate everybody that's joined. Thank you. Off to garage sales. Hopefully, I get a couple little. I always look for like reel to reels and stuff like that, because my antique booth, there's a lot of people that want, eBayers to come through there, and they'll see they know it's worth some money, but they don't want to mess with it because all the shipping and getting it, testing it and all that stuff. But I could throw it in my booth and I don't have to test it, because people just want to buy it to look at it. And I can turn some big profits on stuff that all the big eBayers the big resellers have already passed over, don't want. So that's a big benefit. And a lot of times I'll go to Goodwill's on Saturdays because everybody's at garage sales. But anywho, I also have got some new things in my flea market booth I put in, hoping to see, because Saturday's the big day in the flea market booth. And so I put a bunch of stuff of like a bunch of Wii games for like $4.95, and lots of DVDs and some DVD box sets of like TV series. And then I actually put a Wii in there for like $75, but I had like the shotgun that comes with it, and like Cabela's big game hunting or something game, like a bundle in there. So I'm hoping that sells this weekend. If it does, I've got more of that to come. If I can get 75, that'd be more than I'd get off eBay. eBay's kind of watered down again. Everybody found out about the Wiis, and everybody's like, "Oh crap, I have tons of Wiis," and so everybody's been selling them. So that need has been filled pretty good. But I'm still selling remotes and stuff really quick. So parting them out, I might just start parting everything out and just, I don't know, because I've got 10 or 12 Wiis right now. I've sold like 3 or 4 on eBay. They still go for like 60, 65, but during the height, it was going about 90 to 100 during that first like May and June. That was pretty nice. because I was picking them up for like $30 at Goodwill, and they'd have extra stuff in them too, 35. So you can make a good amount of money, but slowing down a little bit. But still, the games are going so fast. For selling games for $10 a piece, just pop, pop, pop. I sold one. Actually, I need to do that right now. I sold one last night. I think I sold, what else I sell? Sidney Crosby hockey jersey. Sold for $50. I bought it for 20. The shipping was like, I think I charged them like $10 for shipping, but that's about how much it costs. That jersey's heavy. I think it might be the last Sidney Crosby jersey I have. Be nice to get that out. Give me some room. It's funny now. When I sell stuff, I'm like, it's not as much about the money. It's like, ooh, have more room. I remember Thrift Mind used to talk about that, but it's the truth. I took all that stuff to the flea market booth. And I'm like, stuff out of my way. Get it gone. One of the people I watch, his name's Tendo. I don't know if anybody watches him, but he does like all games and gaming stuff and Tendo. And he had this big old beard and the mustache and always wore sunglasses. And just recently he took the mustache off, didn't wear a hat, and he's not wearing glasses. It's so weird to watch someone look like this for a year and a half and then look like a different person. It's like the same voice. You're like, what is him? But it's still like, you're still questioning, like, is it really him? It's kind of weird. I don't like the whole beard thing that everybody does. I think it looks terrible. Most people's beards look god awful. And then the mustache having the curls, like, I remember, yeah. I've done this Don Johnson, like 5 o'clock shadow for years. I don't know. I've always just easiest, honestly. Just don't have to shave it as much, and that's about it. And I just don't like it down to, I don't know, skin, but I also don't want to leave a beard. It starts growing back and curling into itself. It's like, it starts itching. Ugh, I don't like that. I don't know how those guys do it. And it just seems so dirty. I don't know. I'm a runner, so being outside, and I don't know. Maybe in the winter. My dad used to do it in the winter, but all right, I gotta go. Thanks a lot. Grind on, friends. Hope you get those good sales. See y'all. Thanks a lot. Thanks for joining.